Hey everyone, Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar, and today we are taking a look at one of the most innovative guitar concepts that I have seen in a while, and it is incredibly well executed. But before we get to what I'm holding in my hands here, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss anything in the future. So the guitar that I'm holding here is what we need to talk about first, and yes, obviously you probably noticed something interesting in the intro. We will get to that in just a second, so make sure you stick around. But this is a guitar made by Jon Kammerer Customs. And this company does just that. They build custom guitars, and you have a lot of different options you can pick from. Obviously, this is a T-style guitar. There are 9 other body styles to choose from. Some traditional, some not so traditional. 3 different neck scale lengths, a variety of different neck shapes. The one I have here is a 25-inch scale with a C shape. They're all interchangeable. Basically, you can just figure out whatever you like the most out of fretboard radius, fret wire, different wood materials, scale lengths, you name it, tuners, hardware. You can kind of do whatever you want, and Jon Kammerer Customs will make that for you. So who is Jon Kammerer? Well, Jon Kammerer is an industrial engineer by education, but more than 25 years ago, he started building guitars, and he's been doing so ever since in a variety of shapes, sizes, and just different kinds of guitars. If you go to the website, you can see they're really unique, and they've certainly changed over time. And what we're looking at here is probably the most innovative, certainly guitar that Jon Kammerer Customs has made, but one of the most innovative things that I've seen in a while when it comes to guitars that creates some real practical versatility. So part 1 of this is custom guitars. You can really just kind of name your spec and he can build it. But here is where things get really, really interesting. You might have noticed in the intro, I wasn't just playing. I was doing some other things, and it was but not many things, and that's kind of the whole point of this. But if you notice, this is not your typical everyday guitar. What we have here is the tone pod system. And this is really where the innovation lies. Now, you notice I had 3 of them, and pretty obviously, I'm switching pickup configurations. You can definitely see that, and most importantly, you can hear that. So the way this works is you've got these pods, and they're modular. The whole guitar is modular. You got a bolt-on neck, you can swap necks, bodies, you know, the whole deal. But normally, it's a pretty big deal to swap pick guards, you know, from a telly style to maybe 2 P90s or 2 humbuckers, which we have here. But in this case, you can do this with literally one hand while the guitar is plugged in, and you are home free, ready to play. Now, I mean, you saw in the middle of a track, which I don't know that I would necessarily actually do that in the middle of a track, you know, switch from telly pickups to, how about these P90s that are made by Kent Armstrong. I don't know that I would do it in the middle of a song, but you can certainly do it in the middle of a session. And I think that's where this is really, really cool and interesting. Obviously on a gig, you've got basically 3 guitars you can show up with by just bringing the one guitar and the 2 extra pods. But where I think this is really cool is in the studio. Because if you're in a creative mood, you've got a great flow going, and you say, you know what, I've got my P90s here, but I need something just a little bit fatter, a little bit more aggressive. Reach over, here's your Seymour Duncan humbuckers. Drop those right in. Don't even have to unplug your guitar, by the way, which I thought was really cool. I was expecting like some crazy buzz, like when you unplug your guitar from the output jack. And boom, there you go. You've got your humbuckers. You're ready to roll. Try that part with humbuckers. See if it's what you want in your studio session. And I think that's really cool for creativity, obviously versatility on a gig. So the versatility doesn't really stop there, though. As with the guitar itself, those are highly customizable. You can really have any pickup installed in a tone pod system. So let's say you've got 2 vintage PAF style humbuckers that you just love. Jon Kammerer Customs can install that into a tone pod system, and you don't have to modify your probably very expensive, or at least very sentimentally expensive, pickups that are vintage, or really any other pickups that you like if you want to try them in a guitar like this. So again, when you purchase one of these guitars, you get a just full suite of custom specs, however you want to build the guitar first. Then you get 3 different tone pod options. On this guitar, we've got the Seymour Duncan humbuckers. We've got a lace sensor telly set, which is super cool. Reminds me of my Clapton-ish Strat from the 90s. Very cool lace sensors. You know what those are all about. And then everybody loves P90s. These are from Kent Armstrong, some really great sounding P90s. So essentially you're getting 3 guitars in one. And as someone who has a few guitars that have just the perfect neck, great feel, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish this had pickup X, Y, and Z in it. And then you start to think, ooh, what if I swap pickguards or swap pickups? And you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Forget that. You don't have to worry about that with the tone pod, because while it's unconventional, you know, it's not your traditional style guitar, it allows you to make those choices very, very easily, very quickly. And it's really, honestly, not just a gimmick. I mean, I think this is actually practical. And once it's in the guitar, I mean, you can barely tell that this, certainly not from the front, but from the back too, it's so tastefully done with such tight tolerances. This doesn't look like some kind of crazy, you know, just harebrained idea that somebody threw together. It's really, really well done. Very well put together, very solid feeling, no popping, crackling, or anything like that. So it gives you confidence, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in something like this, which is definitely unconventional, but I think given the right scenario and the right player, super useful, super versatile, and certainly very innovative. So this is the Jon Kammerer Customs T-style guitar with the tone pod system right here on the back. Again, operate it with one hand. Super easy. Can't get any easier than that. For more information, obviously, consult the internet, jonkammerercustoms.com or tonepod.com, and you can get yourself a highly customized guitar that is also very versatile and super cool and really unlike anything that I've ever seen as far as what's available in electric guitars. So, hope you've enjoyed this one. Again, my name is Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Leave us a comment below on how you might use a tone pod system. I'd be very curious to see some ideas. Again, I think the studio is probably the best place for it, but who knows? The sky's the limit, and I will see you in the next video.